Good morning, dear children. Today we are going to see a lesson from Civics, that is central government. Well, the central government is the supreme government in our country. The headquarters of the central government has been located in New Delhi. Okay, what is this central government? It has three wings, that is with executive, legislature and judiciary. Legislature is preparing of laws. Executive is the execution of the laws in a proper way that goes to the welfare of the citizen. And the judiciary, it protects the human rights as well as the special rights are given to the citizen. We'll move on to the executive. The President of India executes all the means that has been given to the people. In absence of President, the Vice President takes his position, and President have been assisted by the Prime Minister. He was the head of the Council of Ministers. The legislation, the preparing of laws, it is by the Parliament. And this has two Sabha or two houses. One is Rajya Sabha and the other one is Lok Sabha. What is this Rajya Sabha? It has been elected by the representatives. So it has 238 elected members and 12 nominated members by the president under the president control. And the Lok Sabha, it has been with 543 elected people directly by the people. So here you can recall the direct election and the indirect election. Lok Sabha has been given with the direct election and the Rajya Sabha with the indirect election, that is with the representatives. Well, here the Lok Sabha also, the two nominated people have been nominated by the president. Judiciary, it comes under the Supreme Court of India. It sets or prepares everything in a proper way with the Chief Justice of India and with 27 judges. The President of India. The President is a nominal executive with a higher authority. The full control of the nation is under the hands of President. The chief executive of the Indian Union is also the President. He is designated as a first citizen of India. Let's salute him. And here you see the picture Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who is our first president of India. So he is also has been given a name or title for the supreme commander of the armed force. The president is also as constitutional head of the union executive. What will be the qualification for the president? He should be a citizen completed with 35 years. He should not hold any profitable office under the union or state or local government. He should have the other qualification that should be required to become a member of Lok Sabha. So from that, as a requisition, as a qualification, he has been elected as a president. So his name has to be proposed at least by the 10 electors and seconded by another 10 electors. Who were these electors? They were the members under the electoral college with where the president have been elected. Election of President of India. We'll see about the election. Who were the electoral college? The president is elected by the electoral college and with a single transferable vote. So electoral college consists of the elected members of both houses of parliament. the elected members of the state, and the elected members of the National Capital Territory of Delhi and Puducherry. This is what is Electoral College. This is one of your short answer. That is your first short answer. So mark in your book, learn and write and post it. So the president is elected by an electoral college from there to Puducherry. Once he has been elected, he has to take an oath before the Chief Justice of India. So his term or his period of work will be for 5 years. What were the powers of the presidents? It has been classified with different powers: executive, legislative, financial, judicial, and he has a pardoning powers. That is, the death sentence also has been given pardon by the president. He has the power, and the diplomatic powers, emergency powers. So we'll see one by one. What is this executive power says about? Executive power is to execute all the duties for the higher officials, and especially the appointment of president. With the advice of the president, he can make other appointments like attorney general, chief justice, and also of UPSC members, election commissioners, governor of the states, chief commissioners of the union territories, everyone. And every appointment in central government is in the name of president under his authority. So without his approval or authority, no higher official can be appointed. Legislative pass. He inaugurates the session of parliament. So without his presence, the parliament session cannot be forward. Well, so for the first session of every year, he is the one to address. He may send messages to the houses of parliament. Not only that, all the bills have to be passed by the president under his leadership. Bills in the sense all the money bills, we call it as budgets, all those things. He nominates 12 persons who are as important personalities in literature, science, sports, arts, as well as the social service of to the Rajya Sabha. He can also nominate 2 persons belonging in Anglo-Indian community to the Lok Sabha just to draft the letters. Okay. Financial power. The annual budget of the central government is represented by Lok Sabha and also by the Union Finance Minister with the permission of President. The Constitution of India places the contingency fund, that is in the emergency period or in the need of relief. When the flood or in the natural calamities, these contingency fund has been given through the president. He make an advance of the contingency fund of India to meet an unexpected expenditure. So his finance commission has been constituted for every 5 years. Judicial powers. Article 72 confers that the president power to grant pardon, reprieves, respites, or remission of punishment, that is to avoid or to just remove the punishment for anyone appeals to him. Any person, any imprisoner just appeal to him, he considers, or to commute the sentence of any person convicted of an offense. Military pass. The supreme command of the defense force of the Union shall be vested in the President, and the exercise there shall be regulated by law. That is what is military power. That's why we call as a supreme commander of the armed force. Diplomatic, that is its dignity power. The president appoints Indian diplomats to other countries who receives foreign diplomats posted to India. The ambassadors, especially the ambassadors. The designate becomes ambassador after calling on the president and presenting his credentials. All treaties, agreements with the foreign states are entered into in the name of the president. He is the one to approve all the treaties from country to country, that is between the country to country. That's what is a diplomatic pass. Emergency power, it's very very important. We have three types of emergency power, that is with national emergency, state emergency, and financial emergency. When there is a threat for the nation, it's called as a national emergency. Threat for the state, it is called as a state emergency. And the finance, it's called as a financial emergency power. Okay, all these powers is okay, and we salute our president as a first citizen. Now, how to remove the president? The president may be given by the writing under his address to the vice president, because he is the one next to president. So the president may, or for the violation for the constitution, been removed from office by impeachment. What's that impeachment? Removal of president, especially removal of president. So this power has been given to the higher official. The president shall, in spite of the conclusion of his term, continue to hold office until his successor enters. So here we see some of the vice presidents from the period of our freedom. Dr. Radhakrishnan was the first vice president. Salute him. Well, the vice president occupies second highest official in the country. So that is next to the president. The qualification also same as per the president. Should be the citizen at the age of 35, completed at the age of 35, does not hold any office of profit, and also have to be the member of Rajya Sabha. Election and term of the vice president is as like the president. So is elected for 5 years. His office may be terminated early than the fixed time because by his resignation or by the death or by the removal, by the impeachment power. Okay. So removal of vice president may be removed from his office by the Council of States passed by the majority of all the members. A resolution of this purpose may be moved only after the notice of 14 days. So with that, the vice president can be removed. Here you can see an important note as they ask for did you know. So if the post of the president and the vice president is vacant, what we are going to do? The Chief Justice of India works as a president for the time being till the electoral college appoints the president. So this situation has been happened in 1969 when the Chief Justice Hidayatullah has been appointed as President of India. So maybe it may be an emergency part. Well, function of the Vice President. The Vice President is ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. He regulates the proceeding of the House. He decides the order of the House. He decides the admissibility of the resolution, that is, if any laws have to be resolved. So he gives the admission, or the questions also have been appointed. So he suspends or adjourn the houses. in a grave disorder. So, when the president is unable to discharge his duties due to illness or absence, he may be moved out of the country for any treaty to be signed between other countries. He attends the function of the president for maximum period of 6 months. This was the main function of the vice president, that is in the sense of absence of president. Here we see some of the prime minister. We'll salute them, and our present prime minister also has been seen here. The post of prime minister of India has been appointed by the Westminster, the model of the England democracy. So the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha is appointed as a prime minister by the president. The other ministers have been appointed by the president on the advisory of prime minister. Duties of prime minister. Well, this is one of your detailed answer. So mark this and move for the third detailed answer. Very important question, that is duties and functions of prime minister. It has been mentioned in Article 78. The Prime Minister decides the rank of his ministers, that is, what were the position have to be given to them, or what were the portfolios have been given to this ministers. He distributes various departments, that is the portfolios. And not only that, he decides the dates and the agenda of the meeting of the cabinet minister that has to be presided. And prime minister has to be discussed with the senior colleagues also, just as an advice. He has a just as a advisory people. Okay, the prime minister supervises the work of various ministers. This is also a very important job for the prime minister. Then only the work of the nation goes peacefully, and also the progress of the nation can be given in advance. To converse the president, all decisions of the council of ministers have been connecting to the government of affairs, union, and proposal of legislation. So without the consultation of prime minister, the laws or anything cannot be passed. The prime minister acts as a link between the president and council of ministers. The president is the leader of nation, chief spokesman of the country. So, as a leader of the nation, the Prime Minister represents our nation at all the international conferences like Commonwealth, submitting of non-aligned nations, and also with the SAT nations. So, everything summit, that is to attend all the thing, the international conferences is headed by the Prime Minister. Now we'll see who is the Council of Ministers. They have been appointed by the President and the advice of Prime Minister. It's very, very important. The categories of the ministers have been divided in three ranks: Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State, and Deputy Ministers. This is one of your short answers, that is your second short answer. What were the, or how is the Council of Ministers classified? So you have the answer over here as Cabinet Minister, Minister of State, and Deputy Minister. We'll see in detail Cabinet Minister. They were as an informal body of senior ministers who formed the nucleus of administration. They were the main category, and important decisions of the government are being taken by the cabinet ministers only, such as defense, finance, external affairs, and also the home affairs. Ministers of the state, these ministers belong to the second category of the council. They are also in the charge of ministers or the departments, but they do not participate in the meeting of the cabinet unless they have been invited. So the main position has been given to the cabinet ministers. Important position. The main departments also has been given to the cabinet ministers. Now we'll move on to the third rank position for the Council of Ministers, that is your deputy ministers. They were the lowest ranked minister in the cabinet and they assist either the minister of cabinet or the state in performance of the duties entrusted to them. So in the need of emergency, the duties have been assigned to them. So those duties have been performed in a proper way by the deputy minister. Thus, we end today's session and we'll continue the next part in the next session. Well, children, today we have three answers, isn't it? So, one detailed answer and two short answer. If you see the full video, you can able to get the homework. Thank you. God bless you.